Okay, in this stage, you'll implement the file's file name endpoint, which returns a requested file to the client. The tester will execute your program with a -- directory flag. The -- directory flag specifies the directory where the files are stored as an absolute path. Okay, so they're actually going to call this with a -- directory. The tester will then send 2 GET requests to the file's file name endpoint on your server. Okay, so we don't know where this is going to be. This is going to be just somewhere on their disk system, which is why they need to use the -- directory. The first request will ask for a file that exists in the file's directory. Okay. Your server must respond with a 200 response that contains the following parts. Okay. Content type, octet stream, content length, size of the file in bytes, and response body set to the file contents. Okay. And then basically everything as the body there. So after the final RN. Second request will ask for a file that doesn't exist in a files directory. Your server must respond with a 404 response. Okay, perfect. Hosted DB, yeah, I host databases on AWS. There's a bunch of different places that you can get databases from. There's really not that many great ones that I trust that are free for databases. Most, at least not for like anything production that somebody would like pay for. I wouldn't want to use a free one, but generally like to use like the hosted ones if I'm charging for it. Okay. All right. So what do we want to do? So the first thing we need to do is handle this directory thing. And we could get the args and just manually test the first arg and see if it's a directory. And that would be inside of main. So we have our port here like that. And if I want to test to see, I think this might be a good function to use. Now I could use a CLI tool. We don't have one, do we? We have anyhow bytes in this error. So no, we do not. So if I have a function, maybe like get directory, and I could return a result. So it's an anyhow result, but then inside of that, I can return an option. And then in there could be a string of where the directory is. That's my guess is what I can use to grab this. So I want to get the first, is it the first arg? Returns the arguments that this program was started with, normally passed via the command line. The first element is traditionally the path of the executable. Okay. But it can be set to arbitrary text and might not even exist. This means this property should not be relied upon for security purposes. Yay! Okay. We're not doing this for security purposes. That's going to be fine. So let me have that. And if I say args, what are you? You're an iterator. Okay. So I could just do next to skip the first one, right? Do that to skip the first one, and then we'll have the option if it's a directory or not, right? So like if args next, if you're equal to, is it -- directory, then I want to return args.next, and so this will become a let, this is the directory. This is the path, right? That's the path. Let's do directory equals that. You're going to be upset unless I have like an else. We do a none here. Mismatch, expected enum, option string, because next gives me an option with a string in it. Okay, so I could just do is some and you are the arg equals you. Close you off. Okay, does that work? So, okay, if the args.next is something and the arg is equal to -- directory, give me the next arg, otherwise give me a none. But yeah, and then we're just going to return an OK directory at the very end of this. And that will allow me to, at this point, now get let directory. I can actually directory equals get directory. I want to context you and say something. What do I want to say? You are, I guess, getting directory path, and then we'll unwrap. Because if you fail, I want you to crash, and that's going to be good. You are in options. That's great. Should I turn this into an actual path or just the string? I don't actually know. I'm not sure completely. And then let's just print line this. So we'll just say directory like that. Debug, print that out. That's fine. And we see, okay, so I see right now below there, that way. Below me, we see directory none on that, which is fine. But if I were to cargo watch x run is like this, directory like public, did not like that. Where do I put in the dash dash? I don't remember that there. Let's see, game stylus, you want to make a mock test practice site for exams with backend and database. Which stack do you suggest? I mean, pretty much any stack would work for that. As long as you know it's something that you know how to build something in. Like, yeah, even if it's just a sort of like a test one where you're a learning project, literally anything. That's just a pretty standard web application. So, what as long as you have a database, as long as you have a backend, as long as you have a front end that sort of like does what you need to do, that's it. So yeah, I don't really have a good suggestion for that because it's too open. Frequenz, hello. How are you doing today? Oh, but I thought I tried that here because I did. Hold on. I'll full screen this so you can actually see it. Here's what I'm trying to do: cargo watch x run dash dash. So then pass this in directory public. That's what I want to do. Dash dash invalid option. Is this dash dash it thinking to run? Maybe it needs to go into quotes. Oh, maybe it does. Let's try that. So run. What if I, instead of this dash dash like this, I just do like that? Okay. Now you're telling me to do this. Okay. There we go. Directory is now some public starting to listen. Perfect. So we got it there. And then if I don't have this in, directory none starting to listen. Okay, so now we're working on this. I'll just leave it on the directory public. Perfect. Okay, so that's good. We have our directory. We're going to want to pass this in to here. So we'll have a directory, and then this will be a, I guess right now it's just going to be an option string, and taking ownership of that is fine. Now, we need another route. So when I do this in process request, okay, we read stream, parse raw request, about to parse the method, the URL, the method, okay, the path and all that stuff, along with headers. Okay, this is great. And we find method, path, protocol, headers. Okay, this is great. This is great so far. Now, that gives me the request. Oh, right. Then I send it to the router, and here are my routes. So if it's nothing, processing the home request, echo user agent. Okay, so I want a new request. Sorry, I want a new handler, essentially. I guess I'll do this over here. Oh, right. Didn't we do something like, it was erd? Yeah, that's what it was, to actually see what our tree is. Okay, so in our routes, I want to add in not user agent, but probably file. What is this actually called? This is just returning a file, right? So I don't want to call it file. That's not very good. So let's touch. See, I'm already in source, so I'm gonna touch routes, return file, directory, handle file. We'll call it handle file.rs. And there we go. Okay, so that's what you look like. And then okay, so with handle file, we're gonna have a pub function handle file. We are gonna have to take in the request and then the directory. And do we return anything? I think I return a result, but I don't necessarily know if I return anything else because I think we just sort of do it from here, right? Like, for example, in echo, oh, I create a response. That's what it was. I create a response like that. Okay. All right. So this isn't right. Okay. So given this request, I want to check to see, first off, if there is a directory, right? Because if there's no directory, then we're just going to error out. And if the directory doesn't exist, you want a 404 response. That being said, if you completely fail to give us a directory, this is probably more than a 404 response. I probably want to HP code. Okay, so we have okay, not found. We could be a little bit of glib here and just say your fault. A your fault is a response of a 400. Now, is it client error? What is the actual error message that we're supposed to give on a 400? Bad request. Do you think it would be bad if I just say you done fucked up? It's probably not. Probably shouldn't do that. I'll just say bad request. Oh, send him to HB Cat 400. That would be great. Except I don't think I can actually. I could read. Oh, a redirect would be great. That would be awesome. Okay. So then you are. Okay, you're just yelling at. Okay, so first off here, if the directory is none, so if I want to get this out, so we're going to say let some our directory equals this directory else. So if this doesn't exist, I want to do an early return of a, technically it's an okay response. Code is an HTTP code, your fault. Body is a none. There's no body. Okay. So now I have access to this directory here and we know that it exists. All right. What's next? Next is I have the directory and I need to actually have things to show off, don't I? So if I get out of source, I have like target, I have like this program here, but I think what I want to do is I want to create, maybe what I'll do is we can actually test this on like my desktop because it's going to be somewhere completely different, right? So if I just cd the desktop, let's take a, just create like a temp folder there and let's cat into temp and we'll say, hello world. This is a multi-line message. Okay, so theoretically, we have a temp folder and a temp file inside of there. And then this is where I want to send them to. So if I take you, directory is not public anymore. The directory is now my home directory desktop temp, which we're still not working right now because of this error, but that's okay. We'll get there. I want to load up. So that's the directory, right? I now want to load up the file name. And I think I can get that out of the request path. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure the path is where I want to go, right? Let our file name equals request path. I'm kind of, let's do a print line. And I will throw a to-do on here because I don't care if this immediately crashes. That'll make the error go away. And then I should see this sort of show up below me. Can I? Well, I can make it show up easy for you. Perfect. So if I run you now, we're gonna curl. Is it a get request? I can't remember what -I does in curl. I mean, we could look it up. You're gonna curl to files foo. Files foo. Okay. So right now this should be a nothing, but we're gonna do so curl HTTP localhost files. I think we called it temp, except you need to be 8001. I don't get anything back because that should have been a 400. Yeah, I don't even handle the route, do I? You're right. Yeah, but why? It didn't crash. Okay, because it didn't crash because it got here. Does that not give me a 400 back? It'd be nice if I could actually see. Is that the dash I? Is that what I get? Oh, dash I include the HTTP response headers in the output. There we go. 404 not found. Perfect. Okay. So in that case, yes, we're good to go. So now that we have that, I want to take this handle file, come back to here, and it's files. So some files, handle file. Oh, these were all reference. Let's do the reference to the request instead of taking ownership of it. Okay, so request, and then you want the directory. You're the only one who uses it, so I might as well give you ownership of it. That's going to be fine. We will context you and say handling file route, question mark you, and we're good to go. You don't have access to the directory, so you need it. I have questions about what my brain was thinking about when writing that. Because that, normally I can just say like, oh, that was very similar to a, JavaScript or something. It's like, no, that was just weird. See, do I have the directory? I do have the directory now. Yeah, so I hand you in there. You are moving because the directory is multiple times. So I need to clone the directory in order to move it in here. Or, because it's read-only and I don't care about this, pass in segments next, like the echo. Wait, what did I do in echo? I don't remember anymore. Oh, path param. I do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd been good. Suyash, hello. How's you? I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Yeah, that kind of would be a good thing, wouldn't it? Yeah, we'll definitely do this. This will be good. Okay, so in the meantime though, I want to, can I get away with as refing this? So create a new directory, but instead of option string, this becomes a stir like you. Not really, but what I could do, it's a bit odd. I could do this as a string. Oh, as dref would have worked. Okay, hold on. As dref. Oh, but wait, I still need to move it? Use a move value directory. Oh, okay. So hold on. I do equals directory as dref there. That creates a new option. And then I just hand you like that. Okay. I have to clone you, right? Temporary value dropped. Well, I'm trying to take this directory and clone it into here, but it's probably because it's the same name. It's the same name. So like, let's do, I just call it the path. Now what? Does not live long enough. Borrowed value does not live long enough. Do I have to clone it in order to do an asdref? Temporary value dropped while still borrowed. Okay, so keep the clone here. That gives me a new one here, and now I can asdref there. Okay. It needs to be static, so clone or leak it. Okay, that's too bad. A schizophrenic web developer, hello. How are you doing today? Yes, we're building the HTTP server. We're working on, so we did concurrency for the last little part of the challenge. We're working on file handling right now. Okay, so you're happy. Yeah, I don't want to move out and actually like really take it for real. Directory is not, let's see, hold on. We have you, this goes into the router. That gives us an option stir. Yes, I like this as the segments next because the segments give the next thing, right? So I want to do this as segments next here. And then the directory is going to be an option stir. Okay, and that's fine. So this is going to be the file name. Is it a string or is it a stir? I don't, or is it an option stir? It's an option stir, like that. And then you are also an option stir. Okay, there we go. We've got it. Okay, so we have our file name. We have our directory. We've unwrapped this directory here so we actually know what that is. We need to do the same thing with file name, don't we? So we could just do file some file name. We'll just shadow it. It's fine. Can possibly go wrong. Else we'll return okay response, the code. Since if we do this, it'll have to be probably a 404 because it's just not found, right? So HTTP code not found, none. Okay, so now I have the file name, I have the directory. I want to load the file. Isn't there like a file? So there's standard FS file. Attempt to open a file in read-only mode. And then, oh yeah, then there's read. Pull some bytes into this source from the specified buffer. I can never remember which one I want to use. I use this like so infrequently. Path would be the directory. And I want I think it's mutable file equals opening file. Now, once I have this, I think I can read a string, right? So then we have this is the contents, which becomes a string new. And I want to file read to string, pass it a mutable reference to the contents. This is reading file to string. And then once I have this, I want to return an okay response. The code is HTTP code, okay. And then the body is going to be some contents. And I think that would do it. Directory plus file name, fine. Isn't there like a directory join thing that I can do? Let's hope they're only going to be using UTF-8 files. Otherwise, we crash. They'll be fine. What's the worst that could possibly happen here? A lot. There's a lot that could happen. Okay. So can I do like a path? Because I can do a path with a join, right? So I can do path new, and then I want. So actually, let's do this up here. So if I just say, let our path is going to be equal to a path new, and we hand it the directory, and then I want to join the file name. That gives me a path buff, and I hand it the path there. I think that works. Expected enum option found reference request. Oh. Right, because I need to take this. No? Wait. Yeah, I just did segments next. What did I do with echo? It's an option stir. Path param. And then I got that out. Why are you unhappy? Expected an enum option stir found reference request. Oh, it's because I didn't save the file. So Rust Analyzer was still looking at the old version of the other file. Yeah, old error. Okay, so there's just that. We have no errors, no warnings. So this might just work now. So if I do a curl, we get an HTTP 1.1 200 okay. Now content type is incorrect. Content length is maybe correct. I don't remember how we calculate that. If I make this a lot longer, so like let's do cat to our temp and just add some more stuff in here. Like if I just take you, okay, content length I think is correct. I think that's actually calculating it. Content type, however, is still incorrect. And if I send this to the wrong file, that gives us an error. So we also have to handle that properly. But the server comes back right away, so that's good to know. Okay, so what do I want to do first? Probably the header, right? So in our response, content, okay, so import response, content type header, self, and then it's always this content type, isn't it? Which is, so I probably want to set a content type enum on the response. So that way I could then set what that is, like whether or not it's text plain or something else. content type ever. Where am I writing that out? Yeah, I'm just writing it out here. And this function is fine. I just need a way to like say what it is. I don't want it to like necessarily auto figure that out. So let's take a response. We're going to have pub content type is going to have to be a new enum. Content type, you're going to be text application octet stream. So I'll call this, what is this, text plain? So let's call this text plain. This will be application octet stream. And then from you, we get a match on self content type. So if you are a content type text plain, you go there like that, and that's what we're going to return. Otherwise, we're going to do content type application octet stream, and then you're going to be that. Now this needs to be turned into a string, right? That's why I have the two owned there. And then we need this rn at the end of each of these. So if I do that, we take you. So what if I do something like let the raw like header equals to this, and then I don't even have the two owned. I just want to return as strings. This, we're going to turn a format of the raw header followed by rn, and then that will be a new string. Okay, no field content type on response. Didn't I put content type? Oh, I didn't put the type in yet. Okay, that makes you upset. That makes you happy. You need to implement debug. Okay, so now you should be happy there. The only negative now is that everything is missing this. So we have to go in and add these all in there. So content type is text plain, I think, for most of these. And user agent, okay, user agent also text plain. Okay, excellent. You're never used. Okay, so I accidentally put that into the wrong one. I want, wait, where am I going? File. Let's open new file. That one. Handle file. So instead of text plain, you're going to be application octet stream. Okay, excellent. So now if I run you again, header without colon. Okay, what did I do wrong? Oops. Oh, yeah. So actually, I can take you away. So we just hand that out here. We'll say content type like that now. There we go. Much better. Application octet stream, content like 251. Perfect. Okay. So I think we're good there. And then the final thing is that if the file doesn't exist, if it's unable to find it, I think it's a crash here, right? If you read to string and then you don't exist. No, it's here, I bet. Because what happened, do you tell me? This function will return an error if path does not already exist. Other errors may also be returned according to the open options. Open. Okay, so I think we need to, instead of context question mark this, we're going to match this and handle the error right here. So what type of error can we get? What type of error are you? You're an IO result. It's like IO result error. It's like, okay, so if it's an error, IO, standard IO error, is it this one? You're not helping me. It's not help. Oh, that's what you are? Yeah. No variance, call kind. Okay. So we just have the error. So first off, we'll handle the okay case, right? So if we do this, we have the file come in here and we just return the file out. Great. If you're an error, let the kind equals error.kind, which gives me that. Great. You're an error kind. Thank you for that. Returns the corresponding error kind for this error. Oh, because then I can use standard IO error kind. Okay, so then I wonder if I want to match, or we can do an if let error kind from standard IO error kind not found. Okay, so if that is equal to kind, then I want to do an early return of an OK response. Code is HTTP not found. Body is none. Content type is text plain. That. Otherwise, we're going to do an early response. I guess we could do a 500 error. We don't even have a 500 error, do we? Otherwise, we'll just bail. And we can just bail with got error. Can I just bail with the ooh, wait. Can I do return error into? Yes. Okay. No errors, no options. So now if I curl you, I get you, you're fine. And then if I add in you, we get a 404 not found. Okay, so this might just work. Let's go ahead and try it out. So status, I'm gonna get add all of you. Yeah, hopefully it'll be fine. So what did we do? We're handling files. No, we're able to return. Okay, so able to return files when with directory mode. And let's find out. What's the chance? Test passed. Perfect. Okay, we'll mark you as complete.